Name is Tima, aka the Master Archivist, and I am here today to do the Master Archivist analysis. This is season 5 of the series, and we'll be watching episode 5 of Andor, the show, of course, revolving around Cassian Andor, who would become a rebel spy. That's kind of his upbringing, and I want to kind of start this off a little different because in very rare Hasbro fashion, this actually works out where they have released figures coinciding with the show. Where a lot of times in the past, of course, we've had to see figures, pretty much released like a year or two after the show. Pretty much released like a year. That's well there. So it's very rare that we actually get to see them released at the same time as the show. So with that being said, I want to start this off with an unboxing. Now, one of the things is obviously, long-time viewers of the channel know that I'm a big fan of Star Wars, of course, and Star Wars figures. Obviously, as the price has gone up, I haven't been collecting as much, but I can show you two really nice additions to the collection. One will be unboxing here, and then one came in the mail last week, the little B2. Look at that, so cute. B2, EM0, of course, being, or EMO, if you will. Of course, Cassian Andor's personal droid. We've seen the first 3 episodes. I love the personality of the droid, and honestly, just a big fan in general. It's funny seeing it too, that as the 3 episodes dropped, not only did, these figures drop, and this actually came out, I think, a month or two earlier, but this thing sold out literally the weekends. So Andor dropped Wednesday, and I think Saturday's in stock, but sold out Sunday. So it's funny to me how that changes. But I had to secure one. It's really cute. It kind of like folds into, and you can unfold it. So nice little piece there added to the archives. But this is what we're doing. We're unboxing this is the HasCon exclusive. This just came out on Saturday, and I have secured one to unbox here. We can see it's a matte black background here, and it has this gloss embodiment to it, or embellishment, I suppose, of Cassian talking to B2, as we see in like the first 3 episodes. On the side, of course, is going to be the new Andor coloring and box art for the mural parts of the Black Series. So we have Cassian Andor himself. I love the design of Andor, like the outfit design, the kind of traditional Star Wars tunic design, and we have the very cool, of course, big Western style belt buckle, and the trench coat, very cyberpunk inspired, as I mentioned in the first episode watch along, and I really enjoy that about the design. And then, of course, this is the first ever this is the first ever exclusive 2-pack in the Black Series, and we have B2EMO, very cute droid. Now, I haven't open this yet. Oop, knocking it down. So you got Disney Plus on the screen there. Let me actually move that wire over here. Okay, there we go. Rocking a little alien drip today. That's a little train of thought here. So when it comes to the show, been a big fan. It's unlike obviously most Star Wars things we've seen. And it's funny little things to it. Like, Cassian has the blaster used by Kyle Katarn in, was that Dark Empire? And it was Dark Empire 2. And I'm trying to remember, because I know he appeared in another game as well. It's funny how a lot of stuff like Rogue One and Dark Empire, and then I can't remember the game on PSP where your character's name was Rihanna. All these characters, they're all intertwined because they share in common. They all, in some form, stole the Death Star plan. So it's little things like that. I assume is why they went with this. I know it could also be kind of fan service as well. But anyway, so let's get into this. Like I said, this is the HasCon exclusive Andor 2-pack. I received this literally like 2 hours ago, and I was gonna open it just to be like, oh, I hope everything came through nicely in the mail. I just decided instead it would be nice if we just open it live here. So I want to make sure I'm not going to mess up the box. I've gotten the HasCon exclusives the past couple years, um, but I've never actually opened them. I had Cad Bane, and I got Trapper Wolf, Dave Filoni's character from Mandalorian. Um, I did get a double of Trapper Wolf, and that one I did end up opening, which I do have for display. This one I didn't get double of, and coming up, I'm gonna have on display here because you can see kind of below the screen. You don't see too much here, but I have a couple figures on display I really enjoy. Johnny Silverhand, some Legos as well. This will easily make it into the collection. I'm also keeping the box too. It makes for a very nice display. So, of course, these parts slide out. Oh, oh, they're perfect. The figure definitely looks better. Kind of show this here. The figures definitely look better than what we saw in the promotions for his little B2. He fits in a small little compartment there. I'm going to actually get these out of the box later because they are tied in there pretty well. God, that B2 is an absolute unit, a solid brick of a figure there. Cassian, he had a very glossy head in the release that they had for him. So I actually thought this was going to be kind of worse, to be honest, but it's actually a pretty solid figure. Yeah, I didn't really anticipate the all these straps tying it down. I should have thought about that. But yeah, I know I went to a lot of talking, but the last has kind of open. I can. Oh, look at that! Look at that! They slide out completely. Okay, so this is just a hollow compartment essentially. So I'm gonna put that aside. But look at that. Huh. Alright, so let's read the back. So, of course, these are the two. I don't think B... Oh, look, they didn't put anything for B2. That was one of the big things for me, is that in the announcement for the figures, they didn't announce B2 being released. And that, to me, I think was a big misstep. Of course, this exact Andor is being released in, I believe, spring. So, that's very cool, but, it's not... That one I was interested in anyway, but it didn't come with B2, and I was very sad about that. So what does this say on the back for Cassian? An era. So it's a twofer. It's Cassian and B2. In an era filled with danger, deception, and intrigue, Cassian Andor embarks on a path that will turn him into a rebel hero who will challenge the evil Galactic Empire. Gives no mention of B2 though. Yeah, solid figure. I like that they gave him, before he became more of a rebel spy, like they gave him this very disheveled, shaggy look here. I mean, he does just look like another person in the galaxy, which of course he is at this point. That's very cool. That's a cool little thing there. And then B2, he's the one I really don't want to mess up. So that's where I was like, I could easily take probably Cassian out, but I'm like, okay, so he has the same mechanics. I mean, they probably just used the same model and just expanded it as the Droid Factory version B2. Huh. Trying to expand him, but I don't want to mess him up. Alright, well, that was a nice little segment there. I know it wasn't much. I want to break into this, but I actually don't have any of the tools to do it anyway. So let's just slide him back in this box here. And there we go. So anyway, on to the main dish for today is we're doing Andor Ep.5, and what I want to do right now is just change over the camera here because we're really taking up a lot of space. So let's get rid of that. We'll see ourselves a little archives there. Let's remove the archives, and I want to... Where is it? We're gonna pop up. What we're viewing today, of course, we're gonna be watching Andor Ep.5. I wanna Gotta fix a couple things here, realign all my stuff. Gonna pop the plug segment right up there. And let's make sure that I am visible. Gonna be live and center right there. Oop. There's my little team logo. Of course, we have our bingo board up top. This is our Cassian Andor bingo. We can see pretty much what my kind of mini predictions are. I think they're going to do coming up in the show. So for those who want kind of recap, you can see that on the first episode where we go over each individual square. But yeah, so let's just get myself situated for a quick second. I want to make sure that we're properly suited. It's gonna be a 45-minute episode, so let's grab some beverages, get ourselves settled in for the evening. As we get everything underway, just want to set up our timer. Today's episode comes in at exactly 45:45. It's perfect. So let's do this. And I want to make that visible. There we go. Okay. So with that being said, I want to get this kick started. We'll enter into the world of Andor. So let's get ourselves a countdown going in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so of course we're going to recap from the last episode. We get to see the Imperial power struggle, essentially. And here, I like this guy. I haven't remembered his name, but God, he's got a cool name too. It's one of the worst things. Like the toughest part I think about being the master archivist overall is like I'm horrible at memorizing names. So getting introduced to all these new characters, I'm like, oh man, this is difficult. I will have that name in 2 seconds. But I like him. I don't know what it like his front as this yeah, right there as like an architect. I don't know. Antique shop owner and antique dealer. I wonder if he's using that to fund everything. You know, like the entire project here, or what that case may be. But I imagine we'll probably get some development on that later. I mean, kind of cool. He's living a double life. I mean, it's not, of course, uncommon that we're seeing that in Star Wars, especially with Andor being pretty much a spy, is what it boils down to. So, there you go. We got ourselves the nice Star Wars logo to open everything up. A very chromatic opening. And then the thing that always fakes me out, I always think at the beginning of the episode, it's just the Andor logo is going to load up. Eventually, obviously, as you see now, I'm going to start to remember that. Got a slow transition there. I'm still actually trying to get this guy's name. I'm going to have it in just a second. I'm only going over like all the Andor stuff that came. I'm like, it's Luthen Rail. Luthen Rail. That is a really sick name. Luthen Rail. Rail. Oh, and here's another person. I can't remember his name. Despite it comes up like, I think it's come up 3 times already. Besides Andor, the real character development I want to see is in this guy. Of course, here he sits with that fitted uniform. Oh, blue milk. Oh, blue milk and cereal. Something I've actually had multiple times. Usually I'm a green milk connoisseur, though. I'm a little different. Oh my god. Let me do this. I wanna. So now I'm trying to. A lot of silence on the broadcast right now. I'm trying to. I notice a lot through this. They'll talk constantly, but I have zero clue what they're going on about. I imagine that's how most people feel like talking to me. I imagine it goes the same way. Uncle Harlow. See, I wonder because now I'm thinking here she's talking about calling a family favor. I wonder if maybe that will be almost like paths that are destined to cross. That'll lead him into going after Cassian, or maybe he'll pick up something. You know what I mean? Like, still untouchable drip right there. Ah, okay. Of course, they still have their distrust of Cassian. Corporate issue. So is that? Because my thing is, I wonder, is that the same blast from the guy he killed in the first episode? And also, look at those tattoos. I like we're going over this. I'm like, this is very important. Not even as a joke. I'm like, I really do want to know this. Hmm. Sinterklaas. I gotta see. I think they mentioned they filmed a lot of this in the UK, but I guess here this is a beautiful place. I know it's like barren, of course, and it's like, but it's this like lush area. Here we go, Mon Mothma. I'm interested to see this, who they're having as their so-called guests. Hmm, that's nice hair. I always enjoy the use of braids in Star Wars. This is the gentleman here. He's giving me extremely strong Keanu Reeves 47 Ronin vibes in terms of design. Obviously, like the use of kimonos here, very prevalent. Hmm. Huh. It's also high society in Coruscant. Not something we actually really get to see. Um, the few instances I've personally seen of it reminds me of the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game. For those who have played, going through the inner workings of Coruscant as famed bounty hunter Jango Fett. It's like, ooh, look at the little data pad there. But I like that they've kept that design across the board. On obviously what we've also seen through the films and whatnot of Coruscant. I'm like, they really kept this very nice regal look to it. I mean, obviously it screams high class. Dre milk. Ooh, and yellow milk just dropped. What is this? It looks like a pop-up camera. I think it literally is a camera. I think they just redesigned it. Uh, this guy is giving me really solid. I think his name was. I think it was Mouse, right from the Matrix. Giving me really strong vibes like him. It's like, oh, you want to see Lady in the Red Dress? Here, it's like, if you learn this, they can't control you. Hmm. Yeah, it's literally a camera. Dude, he's tough. He won't drink his milk. His Dre milk. So it looks like they're still going over there planning for this big heist. There's the. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Cassian taking control. Oh, so I suppose now that I think about it, the way I see this going, somehow I want to say from this job will lead then into everything with Mon Mothma, because then that's going to pan out to Rogue One. God, wow. Actually, now I think about it, next week we're at the halfway point for the show because there are only 12 episodes. Mm. Ooh, the old temple. It's very reminiscent of World War II code right there. Because here's our disguised officer. Ooh. I wonder if this is like a really long term, like, Imperial Pride. Oh, this makes sense. What is this? Oh, I think this is the. Okay, yeah, so here's one of the ISB agents. This is his sector, as we saw last week, cleaning up the mess. Honestly, the Imperial's got some slick looking coats. Mm. Mm. Hmm. This is oh, see, and here it's like he's been watching. He's keen. This is distrust just across the board. No one wants to actually like him, and then it's gonna come right over the mountainside. Is a guy just being? I mean, Imperials are jerks as it is, so I'm like, I don't know, this guy's just being a jerk for the sake of it, or there we go. I love that's one of the things from Mando and here that and Kenobi I'd like to see is just all this like behind the scenes Imperial stuff. Mm. Hmm. Here's a cache. Oh, what's that? Is it a Star Wars watch? Don't ever. My man's on edge. What's this? Ah, the crystal. I know they said it's supposed to be a down payment, but I'm not really sure for what though. And this girl, I still don't, there's still a lot to develop on these characters, but how's name Prime? Hmm. Jakku. Hmm. Interesting. Oh my god, it is Star Wars caffeine pills? Whoa. Just like, honestly, the way this show's going, I really wouldn't be surprised if they started doing something in the vein of like Cyberpunk or like Dread or Fallout, where they introduce like, oh, these are chemicals, like Fallout has like chems instead of like, drugs. I really wouldn't be surprised if that's the direction they went with it. Be like, because obviously we have like death sticks, so I wouldn't be surprised if they started introducing that. And it's like, oh, he's making friends. That's so nice. To the rebellion. Those are still phenomenal ponchos. So we're still missing. Oh, I was just gonna say, I was like, this guy. The dude gonna become a bounty hunter? Uncle Red Harlow. No way. What? Oh, is he living his uncle's shadow or something? See, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's this development that I'm missing here. I like that hat. That's a good hat. That's overall good design right there. Honestly, I feel like I could remake these in Red Dead Online. Like all these outfits here. Fell in love with a local woman. Hmm. I feel like you're gonna start using that as a tagline coming up. Everyone has their own events. Watch Andor on Disney Plus every Wednesday. The schedule. Mm. That's interesting. Well, things like that. It's like, oh, morale will be crushed. I'm like, you really don't think the Empire consider those kind of things in the day to day? Oh, those are cool boots. What? Sky Kyber. But he's rich. Mm. Quick draw. I really like this group so far. I'm like, I kind of like the diss track. Like, I really now it's kind of feeling like Red Dead. Before it's kind of like as a joke. Now I'm like, this really does feel like Red Dead. Oh, no, shuttle. Look at that. Hmm. Hmm. I think it's an interesting take. I mean, it's a technical truth. Hmm. Damn. He's like, yeah, he caught me. Really not interested. Oh, wow, that's drippy. Cadillac of speeders. Yes, they're really right outside. Just doing a little cyberpunk apartment. Cyberpunk apartment. Hmm. But that solidified it. Yep. Kind of farm trees. So we're coming down to the end, and like we say, there's usually like a 5 minute credit scene. So I mean, I really don't think they're gonna get any action in this one. Because there's this part of me that's thinking now. I'm like, should they really release? Like, I know Disney's marketing idea is probably just that people talk long term about this to be like, you figure they released the first 3 episodes, right? So if that counts as one, they have the other 9. So if there's 10 weeks of talking about Andor, like we do here. But part of me starts to think if maybe it's not necessarily worth it on some series. I'm not saying I'm disliking this, because I understand. I don't sit there and go like, oh, there needs to be action. But there's the part of me that's like, I feel like for the casual viewers can do it. Yo, look at that. Oh, holocrons in the back. Intergalactic ham radio. Luthen. Mm. I don't know what he's going on about. We get a little trail off there, and that's really it. That looks like the opening to the second Lego Star Wars game. All right, well, 6 minutes and 22 seconds left. We're hit with the credits. Let's just fast forward through to see if we get no post credit scenes. Obviously not the Star Wars forte, but you never really know in this magic kingdom we call Disney. Well, yeah, so I guess that pretty much sums up Andor. I mean, this was yet again another episode not action packed. Like, we can't sit there and say that it's, this full force, daring show, but it is doing something different. It is taking a slower paced story, obviously spanning over the multiple episodes, um, which obviously can pan out very well, especially if there's going to be like an impactful ending. Obviously, that can help pan out a lot further in terms of the character development. With that being said, I mean, it's tough to say prediction wise where I think this show's going. As I mentioned before, it's the wild card for me. I don't exactly know. As I read descriptions of the show, they're like it's an espionage sci-fi thriller, and I'm like, okay. So I mean, that's I'm expecting some type of betrayal and stuff. And at this point, and what I like about it is I can't put my finger on who's going to betray anyone. Obviously, some people like Mon Mothma and Andor are set in this path. With everyone else involved, I don't know. You know, um, and I really want to say that's kind of it for the predictions part because like everything kind of sounds just like repetitive of what I mentioned last week. So it's tough for me to sit here and say that anything I'll spit out right now is going to be different from last week's idea because like I said, it was an action-packed show. We've also got some things. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on this and kind of really pick apart some of the lore stuff. Like I know some of the dialogue said, you know, I have to review the archives and find some more info on it. Um, and yeah, I don't know. So that's really what's kind of different to me. But that's all I kind of have, unfortunately, to bring to the table. So coming up, I mean, we did, I guess, going into the plug segment here. I know it's not too much, you know, in terms of the analysis and breakdown, but I will be back this weekend. There will not be any streams, unfortunately, which is why we did another episode of Team of Talks last night, which went very well. And I thank everyone who joined, and also to the new subscribers as well. Um, I definitely will be coming back. Come the come this week, obviously, we're gonna have Andor on Wednesday. We'll be returning back to our original schedule. But next week, we're gonna be doing Doki Doki Literature Club, and I would like to throw in another day in there as well. We're gonna pick up some other games too that we just have kind of like a sit down and play. Like we're gonna really go through these games. I'm gonna try to do more KOTOR. My worst case scenario is KOTOR is gonna have to be um, held until November. Obviously, it used to be a more sporadic series. Now it's gonna be, more of a mainstay on the channel as we go through it. Um, and then who knows? We'll move on to Knights of the Old Republic too. So, with that being said, I think that really does wrap up everything today. So, of course, my name is Tima, aka the Master Archivist. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch as the Master Archivist. And you can also join the Discord as well. We've had some new members join this month. Always great to have more people help expand the archives. And if you do enjoy the content, you can also help expand the archives by giving a follow and a like on the YouTube videos. And the views always help and just spread the good word of the channel here. So, with that being said, I want to thank everyone. The transmission from the archives will be ending today, and just something I always like to kind of bring up, and I hope that you guys will take into until our next meeting, of course. I hope you guys find the balance that you seek in life. And with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Master Archives Analysis, episode 5 of Andor. And until next time, thank you so much, and may the Force be with you.